Welcome, everybody, to Catfish Weekly along with Chad and Josh. And Dee, I'm Lyle. And boys, we're going to have some fun tonight.
Woo! That's
Woo! Before we start, this is Memorial Day weekend, and I would like to thank all of our veterans, current active military folks for everything they do for us.
America.
That's right. There is nothing that we can do to repay them what they deserve except to say thank you. That's the only thing that we can do to even come close, and I know that it doesn't, but it's so important that we remember why Memorial Day weekend is Memorial Day weekend. And with that being said, I made a post a while ago. Richard Ward of Mad Cat or Catfishing had given us 2 reels to give away to veterans and current military personnel. All you have to do is below that post, below the pictures of the reels, which I have right here in my hot little hands. They are beautiful. One's blue and one's kind of a copper color. State your name and either your current or last rank and what branch of the military you are, and you're entered. And what do you think, guys? We'll give that away at the end of this month?
Sound like a plan.
The last Monday night of this month, whatever day it is. I don't have a calendar right here.
Babe, do you remember my password to the PlayStation 4 so I can get on Call of Duty and see what my last rank was?
That's not going to get it.
That doesn't work. No.
Yeah,
That's not going to get it.
No?
These guys have earned a hell of a lot more than a fishing reel. But Richard was great enough that every year he donates something really, really nice.
Oh, Chad.
And we are going to give that away. And I want to thank you guys for everything that you do. And, this is holiday weekend, and we've been kind of busy doing stuff, and I'm still paying Fish Nation, which shouldn't be there. But it is what it is. It's going to have to deal with it tonight. But we would like to welcome Dee in here, and Dee's got some stuff to tell us about the ladies' tournament that she's putting on. But I'll let Chad and Josh, if they've got anything before we start in on that, go ahead and do that. I just wanted to talk about that reel giveaway. We're going to got 2 reels, so we're going to have 2 winners. Each winner gets a reel, and they'll be randomly selected, and then we'll ship them off just as soon as that's over. So sign up. We want you. Somebody's going to win some nice reels.
I dropped that link.
Perfect.
The link there in chat. So
thank you.
Well, I want to thank Mr. Bumpin' Mike Greenwell of the Green Wheel for 4-month membership to Catfish Weekly.
Absolutely.
Josh, the weekend angler for 17 months.
Wow.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate all that extra income.
Stay in his own salary. Way to go.
Dan has to go straight into savings for me.
Yeah.
Way.
Lyle and I have been talking about a severance for you. You just don't know about it yet.
Oh, my.
Hey, as long as that severance package includes an all-expense paid trip to South America for me to be able to
I think that's what we should save that for, is a trip to South America.
We might need to do this show a lot longer than we already have, sir.
Maybe so, yeah. But yeah,
we're approaching another year, right, on the Catfish Weekly show.
Yeah,
we will be starting in June. I believe we'll start our 10th season.
Nice.
I believe, unless I've miscalculated, but I'm pretty sure last year was the 9th. Wasn't that right, Chad?
I believe it was.
And I believe this will start our 10th season of Catfish Weekly. That's a big statement, and I'd have to go back because some of them are deleted for different reasons. Some of the people didn't want them on there. I never deleted any of them, but I did have a couple of people ask. The former participants and being part of the show wanted them gone, and some of them took them off before I had 100% control of everything, and there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
But there's nearly 500 videos of Catfish Weekly. Some of them are remote at different tournaments and places that we went. And
That's a wealth of knowledge right there.
it is. And all them tips that Doc give out. I mean, it's just a fun thing. It really is. And we've enjoyed it very much. So, yeah, that we appreciate everybody and all of our members and people that join the group. It means a lot to us.
Absolutely. We can say hi to everybody real quick and chat there live.
Let's do that, buddy.
All right. First up, we've got Pontoon Jody, who's a member. Mr. Mike Sampson, member. Get hooked on Dee fishing. We got member Mark from Catfish and Crappie, who will have my buddy J-Dog's going fishing on right after us tonight. We got Brian B. Catfishing, I think. There he is. Member Brian B. Catfishing. He was hidden in there.
Thank you, Brian.
With a head that shines like that, you don't think he would be hidden. But we got Mr. Dave Funk, David Smith, Crappie Day Fish on, Stephanie from Cotton Pickin' Fishing, 922, Crappie Barbecue. We got Joe Buck 66. Scrolling. Did I say hi to Dave Funk? Hello, Dave Funk.
Yep.
We got Murillo Family Fishing.
You get fishing with Jeff Beal.
We got member Fishing and Freedom. Big Slim 91. Member Greenwell Fishing. Sean Abney. Whisker Pig Fishing.
Hey, Mark. David Smith. Annette's Catfishing.
Am I missing people here? There it goes.
Glad to see everybody in here. It's a tough get. I'm sitting here watching the stock car races, which is something I dearly love. They're not as entertaining as they once was, but they're still better than a lot of things that's on TV, like soap operas and crap like that. But it's Monday night. It's a holiday weekend, and we're glad everybody jumped in here to join us.
I always knew that when you can't get a hold of Lyle in the middle of the day, Josh,
he's taking a nap.
Nope, he's watching Days of Our Lives and
No.
He's taking a nap.
I will promise you, he's not watching no soap opera.
You can't get a hold of Lyle in the middle of the day. He's in a food coma.
Hey, Joe Buck, welcome, Dale. Hey, Slip. A soap opera, all you're doing is seeing who's sleeping with whose wife. That's it. Nothing else.
Pretty much sums all of
Yeah,
them
pretty
up.
much.
And who came back to life?
Yeah, because the same guy, a guy with a patch, man, he can be 4 or 5 different people 4 or 5 different times in the shows of life.
And sometimes he's his own brother.
That's exactly right.
his evil twin.
Hey there, Missy Kennedy.
Maurice Cason.
Maurice Cason in here.
Hi, Maurice.
Glad to see everybody joining us. Yeah, Mark, you seem to always be able to get a hold of me. I never sleep, do I?
I don't think Mark ever sleeps.
Not much. Jody doesn't either. She's awake all the time. One time she sleeps on the boat, I think.
Mm-hmm.
When the cottonwood is on the water, the monster flatheads are feeding. That's a fact I've heard my entire life. And they should be floating right now. You catch carp then, too, because they go up there and suck them seeds right off the top. All right. Well, what do you say we get Dee in here to talk about a little bit about our Chad, you got to scoot over and give her a full screen.
Yeah, you got to.
Here. Let me help you with that.
Then it's easier to stand up and reach there.
Oh, they'll be interviewing as a team.
As a team, very nice.
If you give me horns and stuff, you're getting knocked out back there.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Dee, why don't you tell us about what you got going on in this ladies tournament and give us a list of the people that's entered and maybe some rules for it. And if you're going to have a green wheel to choose from, we want to know all about it.
Okay. Well, this will be the second annual Ladies Catfish Rumble, and I cannot do this with you back there. You got to go.
It is kind of weird, and
I just don't trust you back there.
I can relate to that. I would never trust him
I'm
behind.
gonna let her do the show, and I'll be right back.
All right.
Fine.
The new co-host of Catfish Weekly, ladies and gentlemen.
If only
Good
we'd
work.
known that was all it took, huh? No. Okay, so we had such a huge interest last year that this year I made it for 2 days. We have contestants of all levels of fishing skill. And one of the reasons I decided to do this was after the couples tournament had pulled out so many ladies to fish with their husbands. I was like, I wonder if we can, allow for more. We get more people in, interested in fishing more and everything. So I think it has done that some, and it's a nice little friendly competition. And I usually try to have the winner win a rod, reel, and tackle, so that that lady has her own year. Because we can use our husbands, but it's much nicer to have something of your own. Because then they don't try and tell you how to use it. Well, okay, I take that back. They don't try as much.
It's hard, huh?
Yeah.
We got our normal rules. It's a CPR tournament, bank, boat, kayak, 6-rod max, only blues, channels, and flathead, aka shovelheads, count. They must be caught on rod and reel, and it's a 5-hour tournament from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. Same, if you kicked off the stream, make sure you get back in there and no fish count until you are back in. One of the most important rules, though, is joeys are allowed, but they're not allowed to cast the rods, reel the fish in, or hog the camera.
Or what?
Hog the camera.
Hold the camera.
Most fish wins, so there's not a size limit. It's basically, hey, Mark, thanks.
There you go, Mark. Good job.
But yeah, just to encourage, people to get out there and, ladies to get out there and fish. I thought that most fish is fun, and it's fun to watch for us, especially like last year, the competition between Halana and Tammy King. They kept going back and forth for most fish and taking, first spot away from each other, back and forth the whole day. So, it adds a little excitement.
I agree.
Let's see. So our contestants on June 3rd are Chrissy Brown from Uptown Chrissy Brown, Cindy Cook from Skipjack Cindy, Nikki George, Shirley T, Jen Smith, Audra Doobie, Stephanie Cluck, and Marsha Parker. And on the 4th, Christina Dunnigan, Robin C., Halana Beck, Tammy King, Tara Blackburn, and Tanya Hollis.
So you're full?
Actually, there are 2 openings on the 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, I pretty much was going to cut it off at the 8 each day limit because I didn't want to go to the green wheel so that poor, nobody had to feel like poor Bumpa might And
Poor
but
Mikey.
yeah, so we have a couple openings on Sunday still.
Okay. And what's the date?
It is June 4th.
So next weekend?
Yes, next weekend.
This weekend?
Well,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
same thing.
yeah.
The next weekend will be this weekend.
Yeah. So, two openings to go. So that's awesome.
So Dee, how would somebody get in touch with you if they were wanting to take advantage of one of those openings?
They can go to the Fields to Water Facebook page. The post is linked at the top and say I want in, or they can send us an email at fieldstowater@gmail.com.
Very nice. Very nice.
Or if you're friends with me on Facebook, just shoot me a messenger and
That might be the easiest way.
yeah.
Let's see, there we go.
How about that?
But yeah, and again this year, Nina is going to be my co-host. I know for Saturday, but she's still waiting to see her schedule for Sunday. So if there's another lady out there who's not busy on Sunday, wants to help co-host, if Nina has to work, just shoot me a message too.
There's Creole says he's sorry he's late. Actually, I forgot it was Monday.
I did too, Creole. It has not. It's felt like Sunday all day today.
Well, sounds like y'all needed to work, so you would have remembered it was
I'm
Monday.
off today and I'm off tomorrow.
Morning.
So. J.G. Hill.
I'll be off the
joining
rest of the week and next week, the week after, and the week after that, and the month after that, and the year after that.
Well, I've been trying to talk Chad into letting me retire, but
You're tired, aren't you?
thing where he won't let me.
You're tired, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, then all you got to do is read.
Yeah, I don't quite work that way.
Yeah, I know.
Creole said he did work today. It still felt like Sunday.
Wow.
There's Nubby's Catfishing. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Well, it was definitely a Monday for me because I don't know why they decided to, but they did system updates to one of our applications we use, and every time they do that, it's fun. We'll just put it that way.
I'm sure you're right. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What's wrong with him?
I don't know, but if I retired, he could get a second job for his fishing addiction.
Wow.
We're gonna see him come busting through the door any minute now.
Like a Kool-Aid man come crashing through the wall.
Oh man. Well, it sounds like you're going to have a great crew and some great ladies fishing. I'll be watching, of course. We all will, and we're excited for you. This is the second annual one. You guys, Chad started all these online tournaments as we do them today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was his idea. I remember when he came up with that idea, and a bunch of people have scabbed onto it, and that's okay. That's kind of the way things work.
Right.
But he was the original guy, and you guys have a lot of stuff now that is repeat. Tells me that you guys are doing them correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, you wouldn't have nearly full schedules or have to go to the green wheel, which is, I dearly like that. Not that I like to see Mikey get put out. It just is exciting. And he's not the only one. I've been chosen by
I don't
somebody.
think I've ever been picked on the wheel either, but
I've never been
one time that I went to the wheel, I was teamed up with Mikey, so I just blame him.
That's right.
So, I mean,
yeah, I've never been picked up by the wheel, but I've had contestants pick me, and that was fun. I enjoyed that. But I got the Mike Greenwell complex. I've never been chosen on the wheel either. But that's okay.
actually had debated too. It's last year actually. I had debated this, making it an invitational versus open call. And I thought about it again this year, and I was like, there are people like, Tammy is a perfect example. Tammy King, Ricky's wife. I wouldn't have thought to invite her. And here she is. This will be her second one she's done.
Very nice.
So that's why I think, kind of having it open and letting people tell you they want to join.
That's one of my favorite things is when you see somebody who isn't in every tournament, in every live tournament. You see somebody else, and they're the ones you keep an eye on and you root for and everything because it's a different face up there on the screens. Yeah,
they're that unknown factor.
Yeah, I agree with this.
I was just gonna highlight that one.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I was watching stock car races and one of my guys got crashed out. So
no.
I'm sure Dockery's happy. Dockery
hasn't been happy since I don't know when.
He don't even know what that word means.
No.
That's too bad. There's Nina's in here and Freddie. K and B has made it in. Joe Buck. JG Hill Studios. We got there just rolling in. 2 Stans. Welcome, Stan.
Stan's right. So what about someone who has the most second place finishes than anyone else?
I wonder who that would be.
I don't know who that would be.
Well, it could be anyone. Laura doesn't like to fish when it's hot. She apparently doesn't realize where we live. I don't like to fish when it's hot or cold. Well, I think I need a spot where it's 65 to 75 year round and stay there, no wind or very little wind. And I'd be happy. Rain. Yeah, just enough to make stuff grow. Just enough to make things grow. That's all I need. But I'm pretty sure we know how that's going to work out.
Yeah, that's not sure where you're going to find that one.
I'm still looking. You never know. So what else do you have planned for this tournament? You got Nina and you got the dates and you got your contestants all set up. Do you have a bunch of prizes and stuff for everybody?
Actually, we have a prize for fish, which surprise, it's our Fields to Water sponsor, FOA, has a rod, your choice, I believe, of the 5 or the 6 foot, and a tackle pack, and then we are going to either let them have their choice of an Ancient Mariner or a Piscafun reel to go on the rod.
Very nice. Very nice. So if somebody wanted to donate something to the tournament, they can go to the aforementioned ways to get a hold of you and donate prizes to give away for this tournament.
Yes, they can.
Well, you know what? I have some things here that are left over for some giveaways, and I'm going to send you a box.
Okay.
And you can give them to one person or to as many as you want.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's not a problem. Crappie Day Fish On. Welcome. Big Wrench Catfishing. What? Pardon me?
And Big Wrench is in.
Yep. We seen him at the same time.
Yeah.
Glad to see all you guys joining in on Sunday night, Monday night. We're all still in Sunday mode.
Oh, Nina, thank you. Couldn't do it without you, girl.
That's pretty cool. But I think that this will be a great tournament. What time did 8 o'clock? Does it start 8 o'clock on Saturday morning and 8 o'clock on Sunday? And you're going to run for 5 hours, so it'd be over at 1.
Yeah.
Before it gets scalding hot.
Exactly. And that's why I did it a little earlier.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
It's starting at 8 Eastern then?
Yes.
Okay. 7 to noon then Central Time.
7 to noon, yeah. Which I think that will work out really good.
That's perfect tournament hours right there.
Well, it is. You hit the morning bite. There's a lot of people believe in a morning and evening bite. I am one of them. And I'm also a believer in overnight bites. But to be quite honest, I've probably caught as many fish during the middle of the day as I have any other time. But it just seems to be more action. Maybe that's what I should say. In the morning and evenings. And for some reason, around 2 o'clock in the morning. It's just magical time. 11 to 2. That's pretty magical time for night fishing. At least for me.
That's always a magic hour there. So
let's see what hour was it that you caught that gigantic flathead the other night, Josh?
I don't know that fish was gigantic. The picture just made it look good.
That's what I'm saying. It looked great in that image.
I was in somebody. I think it was the River Rats. I was in their live chat the other day, and somebody was talking about, before I could even say anything, somebody was talking about me catching a 65 flathead, and I had to jump in and say, well, that's news to me. Because no, it was probably between midnight and 1 a.m., I guess, when I caught that fish. So
11 to 2.
What's wild is I had sat there since about 8 o'clock, and from 8 o'clock to midnight, I think we had one kind of halfway bite that never hooked up, and that was it.
Well, I've seen a lot of pictures of flatheads being caught in the last few days. So
there's been a bunch of them caught.
They're cranking up. So, Dee, do you think there'll be any flatheads caught in your tournament this weekend?
Oh, I'm pretty sure there'll probably be a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope there's some good ones.
I know Chad has actually done really well catching flatheads this year too, and they've been either in that morning or that evening bite windows.
Yep.
Mark says the pre-spawn is now, and that's
I agree. This is it. And you pretty much got the whole month of June or May, because usually in June they start spawning in June. Depends on normally in my area, the channel cats go on first, then the blues, and then the flatheads, and they'll start coming off about the end of the middle to the end of June, and then about July 4th weekend every year it's usually pretty hot.
Yep,
around here. So Hey, Danny, anybody that wants to catch some great eating fish, the month of June is pretty good for that because they don't get the chance to do the nasty because them big boys and girls run them off. That's what happens. The dominant males and females do all the breeding, and the young ones, they don't get to. So it's time to, if you want to have a fish fry, that's the time to catch a few of them.
That's the time to go and get, hit those flats and, hit those shallow flats and get those channel cat that are too small to spawn. And
another great way
they make good table fare anyway.
So they do. They're the best. And if you want to take a kid and get them interested in fishing, get you a couple of jugs or noodles or something like that and float some hot dogs on some hooks and catch all them ones about that long you want. And them kids will be so wound up over it, you won't be able to keep them out of the boat when you get ready to move it.
Get you a big old bag of shrimp and load
That'll
those
work too.
jugs up with shrimp.
Yeah.
You catch a Lyle?
You'll catch a Lyle that way.
You're liable to. We had shrimp Friday night. They had to wheel me out of there almost. It was so good.
There we go. Freddie giving the rundown of what will be included in the tackle pack.
The winner gets a 5 or 6 foot rod and a tackle pack loaded with FOA gear. Jumbo and Ninja Spooks, both style rattles, and a set of all our hooks we carry, sinker slides, swivels, and an extra gear. That's awesome, Freddie.
It is. That's really nice. Really nice. K&B says about 3-pound channel catch or blues fillets make a great fish dinner.
That is the truth.
Agree 100%. Two Stan says if you need an alternate, let us know.
Well, Stan, if you have a lady who's interested, we actually have 2 spots open on Sunday. So they don't have to be an alternate. They can just be in it.
Listen to this. Fried fish fillet with shrimp. I'm not sure what that word is. Some kind of weird. It must be
That's one of them
French.
fancy fishing word or cooking words.
Yeah, I don't do them. Poured on the top. So sounds good. Of course, when you fry fish and you put shrimp with it, you can't go wrong. You just can't. Using fancy words, nobody knows what it is except Cajun.
Oh, wow. If you've ever tried etouffee, you'll know it after that. So
Is it hot?
no, it's just good.
I got to tell you, my favorite thing to fry fish with is Andy's Red. It's a little bit warm, but it's not so bad that it hurts you when you eat it. You know what I mean?
I mix that half and half. I get a bag of the red and a bag of the Andy's Cajun. And I mix
I
them.
used straight Cajun yesterday when I
Straight Cajun is delicious, but if you
It
have
is,
anybody
but-
that can't handle spice, they won't like it. So
It used to be I love spicy stuff, but it doesn't like me near as well as I like it. And I was a little bit miserable through the evening yesterday. But if I hadn't ate so much of it, it might not have been so bad. But crappies with Andy's is hard to beat. The only thing that I can say is better is little small catfish fillets cut up into nuggets and fried in Andy's Red. That's just about as good as it gets. But I've got some. I got some in the thing we got at Sam's. I'm actually going to try. For some reason, I can't ever get on here, and I can't remember the name of it. But they do a bunch of seasoning stuff for different kinds of stuff. Cindy, what's the name of that? She must be out with the dog. But anyhow, they do a bunch of seasoning stuff for all kinds of fish and different things, and I'm excited about trying it to see how it is. Last week I remembered it right after the show was over, but
That's always when you remember stuff.
yeah.
that's about how it goes. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Chad did leave you, didn't he?
Yep, he sure did.
you run him off. Chad knows better.
He's afraid she'll thump him.
She'll dump him right here on live TV.
Yep. Well, I think what it was is our food just got here, so
Oh yeah.
That may be it. I would think he would come in, relieve you, and let you eat first. But it's Chad.
But
So.
that's just Chad. So I mean, that's
his comeback would be, well, I already let her catch the first fish, so she can wait to eat.
922. I agree with you. He's telling Creole to knock it off. Said still hungry from the last show.
I have to say that while we're talking about tournaments, we have the Panfish Nation tournament coming up that Mark is putting on. And I'm looking to see. I think Mark's is the 11th.
I think it's the 11th of June.
And then Chad's is the 24th of June.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 tournaments for panfish.
And then mine is the 8th of July. So you have one. You have one every other week for like the next 3 weeks there. So
and get signed up for these.
Oh, absolutely.
There's going to be a year the top 2 advance, so you can advance to the next round and be in the final, which will be on live on Panfish Nation. And we would love to have you entered in that. And if you don't make it in the first one, you can just keep getting into them till either you get into them or they run out. And the last one will be James Dockery's tournament. Now, ain't that going to be something?
That's going to be
That's going to be something.
I already
We'll
had
have a
message
blast with
tonight.
James.
There you go. Lyle.
Black
Friday
shrimp.
for fun,
Ooh,
had black
wow,
and
that
shrimp
that
fried
sounds
rice for
delicious.
dinner.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Whew. Man, that was
Man.
good.
Oh, wait a minute. We got to see if this gets second or not. You might not be back on the
Fine.
show. No.
Nominate Dee as new
Yeah.
co-host of Catfish Weekly. She brings a little sunshine to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Says Kevin.
There's Pablo's fishing game.
All the
Buenos
way
Aires,
from Buenos
Argentina.
Aires, Argentina.
Hey
Wow,
again,
welcome.
Pablo. Good to see you.
Y'all
Welcome
kicked me
to
out.
Trish.
Then y'all sitting there in here pouting because I wasn't in here.
No. We just need a little
Lyle
input.
missed, from what I could tell, the 25-month anniversary of Fishing with the Chads membership.
Yeah, we
I'm
didn't
so
miss it. We
sorry.
ignored it.
I didn't see it.
Barely around, so he
I
just
didn't
comes
see
in.
it because I'm on StreamYard feed because it's more consistent than the YouTube feed. I have them both up, but there it is. Fishing with the Chad, 25 months. Wow. Thank you, Chad. You're awesome.
And you notice it said for the red-tailed catfish trip.
I got you, man. I got you.
I'm gonna bring a can of spray paint with me one day. I'm gonna make a red-tailed catfish. Just tease you.
Well, that's my dream fish, but you know, hey, there's
I want
Christina.
a Wells. I want a Wells.
Yeah, they're bigger, but I think them red tails are just
Those
gorgeous.
red tails are cool fish too, though.
They are. I know they've got them in Florida, but they're not big. So
Yeah.
I think
it's not the same.
He just wants to go on a trip. A
yeah,
big
Mhm.
that'd be a big one.
He likes to travel.
The thing that would get you would be staying on that houseboat on the Amazon and all them skeeters.
Oh man, they carry you off.
I would think they would, but man, it just looks like it'd be an awesome time. And
You'd almost have to bring Danny Stone so he could look at those Amazon skeeters and just be like, "Look, I fish in Mississippi every week.
it ain't nothing.
Go home, eat your Wheaties, come back when you've grown some." I mean, it's
That's a fact. That's a fact. They'll nearly pack you away on that Mississippi Missouri
oh
River.
man, ain't no kidding.
We're trying to think where we stayed. It was down in the Boot Hill. We was fishing New Madrid tournament, and I'd take the dog out at night, and I never seen such mosquitoes as down there. They just was unreal, and it wasn't just one or two. It was like 3 or 4 dozen at a time, and they were horrible.
And you can't kill them because Missouri made them the state bird. That works.
That does work.
Blah, blah, blah. So literally, true story here. So we're down there in Missouri, fishing the Mississippi River. Dee and I are over on
And I skunked.
Yeah. Yeah. Dee and I are sitting over there by ourselves because nobody wanted to hang out with us, especially Danny Stone. But then Danny Stone goes live and he makes this walk 2 miles to where they let us fish at. And we're standing there and I'm like, oh, there's bats flying everywhere. And Danny said, that ain't no bat, that's a mosquito.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Lord.
Richard with Fishing and Freedom says they use chicken wire to keep them out.
That was a funny live. I remember Danny saying all kinds of weird stuff during that live.
Let's go, Christina.
I'm telling you, you use chicken wire to keep the skeeters out. You got some big skeeters.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Oh, I'll make you regret that.
there's what we got waiting to try on the next batch of fishes. Xanaran's New Orleans.
Ran New Orleans style.
Xanaran's, I've never had anything they make that wasn't pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to try this, but I'm an Andes fan, and that Andes Red is by far my favorite. So we'll see how it works out. The container that we got is pretty big, so we're going to be using it for a while if it's any good.
Hold on to it if you got it. It's been hard to find around here lately. So
What's that? Zanrans?
Andy's.
Really?
Andy's
Hey,
has
we're
been
out
tough
there in
to
St.
find.
Louis.
We have had a hard time finding it the past few times because
That's
it's
too
about
bad.
that time. It's about that time of year to go catch a bunch of small channel cats and get ready for a fish fry for John's birthday. So he's got
We
birthday
used to,
in the next month. So
when Cindy and I done tournaments, they was a sponsor for us, and we would take the truck down there, and they would put box after box after box in the truck,
wow.
and we would give it away, tons of it, every tournament we had. It worked out really well, and the guy that run the warehouse there, he'd say, "Is that enough?" I said, "Yeah, that's more than I want to unload," you know. And I become a fan of it then, and not because they was giving away, because it was that good. It just is. So,
yeah, JG Hill, it would be epic. We'd have to go live.
yeah. Creole says that's what I use most. So I'm excited about that. Don't forget, the Catfish and Crappie podcast comes on right after Catfish Weekly tonight. So be sure to join in and watch Mark. I think he has
Jason gone fishing.
Yeah,
J-Dog.
Jason on fishing on tonight, and that ought to be plenty good show.
That's guaranteed to be a good show.
Oh yeah.
That is guaranteed to be a
With
good show.
Mark or Jason?
J-Dog.
Oh,
Mark does an awesome show, but you throw J-Dog in there on it, yeah. That's one that you don't want to miss.
I think it'll be entertaining. Maybe not as entertaining as D, but you know.
Well, you know, he does already have the second best show on Monday nights.
If Jason would wear a wig and enter that ladies tournament,
Oh man,
he'd get my attention then, and everybody else's too, not just mine.
Well, it's funny because when we were fishing with him the other day, I asked him, or I was telling him about Sunday and how Nina might not be able to co-host, and he was like, "Well, if you need me to read chat, I'll jump up there and read chat." And I was like, "Okay, Jane Dog."
Jane Dog.
Jane Dog.
Well, you know, anytime you need anything, you can always get a hold of me, and we'll help you any way we can. So
I appreciate that.
I'll probably be fishing, so I probably won't help you.
That's
you can't enter the tournament, even with a wig.
Really?
You can't enter.
No.
Now, Jason, he's a little guy. He passed fast for a woman with a wig, you know.
Especially when he's freshly shaved, he does have a baby face too.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm surprised Mark hasn't tried that.
Well, I don't know. Didn't you see the picture from when we announced it? It looked like maybe he was trying.
Maybe.
That long blonde hair?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Bugman 22.
Hey, Brian. Robin C's in here. Catfish Weekly member.
Glad to see Robin in here.
Buggy.
Trying to catch up on all the chat. I don't know how many I've missed, but I'm sure several. Try to catch the highlights. That's about all I can do.
Yeah. And Dee, I know you said this. The ladies tournament's a numbers tournament. I may have missed it if you said it. Are you doing biggest, smallest fish too, also, or just numbers?
Nope. At this point, we only have most fish.
Sound like a plan.
Yep.
I gotta say, I'm very proud of her for peopling and doing this, and also I'm very thankful to Miss Nina for helping her out. But you know, women in fishing is growing and growing. More people are interested in it, and I love that she is pushing to really highlight women in fishing and especially catfishing. So she's done a great job with it last year, her and Nina. And I think you said it earlier. She did last year. She was like, I'm going to do one day just to see if I can do it. This year, she was like, I'm doing 2 days.
There you go.
I'm like, here we go.
And what's going to happen is at some point we'll stop having women's days and guys' days. It'll be you'll fish against each other. And the reason I say that is a lot of people don't know, but Cindy and I used to play on pool leagues, and we shot pool all over the place. And I've done a lot of singles events because I really enjoy those. But I've been watching a lot of these videos of these women playing men in pool tournaments online, and a lot of them are kicking their ass.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. And these ladies, they can pull off some incredible stuff. And it's no different with fishing than it is with playing pool or racing cars. Look at these people running 250 mile an hour and 300 mile an hour in dragsters and funny cars. And when they take that helmet off, they got long hair and hooters, and they're women. And who would have thought that 20 years ago that you'd have seen a woman go 300 miles an hour and be able to walk when they got out of the car? We used to see women race, but they was racing cars that they drove back and forth to work or to school. They didn't race something that was sponsored by multi-billion-dollar companies, but it's happening now. So at some point in the catfishing world, you're going to have women competing against men. It won't be a ladies tournament or a men's tournament. If you want to play the game, you're going to have to compete. So I say, ladies, enjoy it while you got it, because it's tough competition in the ladies tournament. But when you open it up and you get in with anybody, you're going to be fishing against the Massengills and all the big names in catfishing, because at some point they're going to make it over to these online tournaments. The cost it takes to do tournaments, as Cindy and I used to do them, is going to prohibit a lot of people at some point, especially if we don't get this gas prices down. So it's just that's what it's going to be. You're going to have to compete at men and women and kids and everything. My kids, when they was 12, 13 years old, they was my partners in tournaments. And I took them, and we competed against the professional teams such as they was in those days. And we done okay. We didn't win them all, but, seconds, thirds, I'll take those any day. They're a lot of fun. And the kids learn how to do it, Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think you're right. And you're already starting to see it. There's definitely some people that are showing up some ladies that are showing up in these online tournaments. They're really doing well, giving people a run for their money, placing in the top,
Cindy and I fished tournaments together for years and years. She was my partner. I knew what to expect out of her every time we went somewhere. She knew what to expect out of me. She has netted more big fish and more fish than anybody I know. And if somebody's got a fish on, and you better not miss her fish that you netted. I'm gonna tell you right now, that gets your ass ate out.
Oh yeah,
But she don't miss them. She's netted so many. She just take that dip net, just scoop them up, just like something she does every day. So
I think I may have lost one or two of Christina's during couples tournaments. So.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
It didn't work out too well for me.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
I still hear about it.
But that's the way it is.
Yeah, I wanted to finish what I was saying.
Okay.
But talking about more and more women are stepping into this is, I think tournaments like what Dee and Nina are doing is giving women more confidence in being out there and
to compete.
Absolutely.
Get out there and just relax fish is one thing, but to get out there and fish competitively, I think this is showing a lot of women that they can do it, and a lot of women that are setting them by the sidelines that may step up into it. And like I said, you're seeing more and more YouTube channels of lady anglers and catfishing.
Yep. One of the things that always will stick in my mind when we started fishing as a team, Cindy and I fished together. Doc and Lynn Lang fished together. Bink and Janet Fox fished together. There was a handful of husband and wife teams, and that was it. Everybody else was two men. And then they had the all-women's tournament down at Wheeler Lake one year. And Cindy and her partners happened to win that tournament, and I was so proud. But after that, you started seeing husband and wife teams, boyfriend and girlfriend teams,
Yeah.
man and daughter teams, stuff like that. That's just bringing the catfish world to a higher spot in the world, as far as I'm concerned. Anytime that you can take and fish with your wife or your daughter, Jason Mathena, one of my favorite people of all times, one of the greatest fishermen that I ever met, fished with his mother for years, Vicky Mathena. They call her the Queen of the Mississippi. And I see this Queen this and Queen that online all the time. Vicky Mathena was the Queen of catfish, period. The rest of them could talk all that bull they want. But when she was 70-some years old, she was bumping with Jason down the Mississippi River and put more fish in the boat.
Yeah.
Men or women. It doesn't matter. I mean, she was a tough old gal, and Jason was hard on her because it was his mother, and he knew what she could do because she taught him a lot of that stuff. One of the finest ladies you ever want to meet. We lost her last year, and it's a crying shame. But that happens. But Vicky Mathena, she is a bumping machine, and she caught more fish than most people will ever know. And they won a lot of tournaments. They really did. So women can do it.
That's another thing with the ladies tournament is letting them have a Joey, but limiting what they can do because, a lot of women won't cast, won't put their bait on, stuff like that. And it's like, no, you can do it. I know you can.
That's right.
Try.
You know what?
I was going to ask you about that. As a Joey on the 4th, can the Joey cut the bait, put the bait on the hook, or no?
You can bait rods, but you're not allowed to cast them. And you're not allowed to reel
I was
them
hoping
in.
you'd say no, just because I was waiting to see this. But
It is greatly encouraged that the contestant do it themselves.
oh, good deal. Okay, that's what we needed to hear.
Sorry, Christina.
You'll be hacking those shad up. So
But yeah,
hopefully the shad have
really cool
straightened themselves out. They were hard to find a few weeks ago. So
yeah.
Well, like I say, I think it's going to come a time when there's not going to be any man-woman tournaments. And you still may have some. I think that a tournament like you do should be an annual event. I got to tell you, though, when I grew up in the automotive industry, my entire life I worked in garages, service manager for some big dealerships, in our own business for years. I always had what I called a step and fetch. If I was underneath a vehicle, I needed somebody to go get something so I didn't have to crawl out and get up off that creeper and go to the toolbox, grab a wrench and get back. That's a step and fetch. I had a step and fetch most of my career. And when I'm in a boat and Cindy's fishing a ladies tournament, I'm the step and fetch.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm not too wild about it, but I'll do it, But that's what you are. You're a step and fetch. But if the ladies have fun, I'm going to tell you guys that don't fish with your wives. If your wife likes to fish, as mine does, and she's made the statement several times that if that boat moves, I'm in it. It makes it a lot easier for me to be able to go fishing when I want, because I know she's ready to go. She'll be ready to go when I'm not. So bear that in mind. When you say, hey, I want to go fishing with John or Paul or Ed or whatever. So why don't you go, honey? I would rather take you. It makes it a lot easier for you to do it. Because $3 a gallon gas, you got to burn the gas in your truck. You got to burn gas in the boat if you're a boat fisherman. By the time you get your bait, you do all your stuff, you're in $100 almost
You got
any day.
$100 outing. Yep.
Almost every time you go. That's usually probably a minimum. So Brian Blaney's going to win this race. I'm pretty excited about that. He just did. But anyhow,
I'll go ahead and say that kids work for that too.
they do.
They
do, because if the wife doesn't want to go and your child wants to go, she's happy to let them go.
Mm-hmm.
You've got somebody with
them
you
out of the house.
You've got them out of the house. They can sit there and do what they need to do, and there's some peace and quiet, basically. Josh, do we have a?
We have a short form bragging board this week.
Okay.
As we only had a couple of submissions. Oh, there's the puppy. She don't have her cone of shame on anymore.
No, she lost her cone head.
All right, let's get over here. Get this pulled up. I put them in as overlays this week just because we had one submission. Let's see. This first one here comes from Mr. Stuart Shuck. Said his grandson Romaine, 9 years old, caught this fish on the Rock River in Milan, Illinois. It weighed 21 pounds. Said he was so excited. You can tell he's just lit up.
That's one of the greatest things in the world is a picture of a kid and a fish.
Absolutely. So congratulations there, Romaine. Awesome fish, buddy.
Yeah.
Stuart, thanks for sending the picture in. And we got one more. I look like a deer in the headlights because I had the ring light on and it was blinding me. But
what a great fish, man! Well, what did that end up weighing, Josh?
It ended up weighing 27 pounds 4 ounces.
And a beautiful fish.
So not big by any stretch of the imagination on a flathead, but my PB flathead up until the other day was 9.8 pounds. So I'll take that one. And it was wild to see that takedown. It was on that on one of those white ugly stick catfish rods that you can see in the background there. That rod went from sitting vertical like it is to just doubled over, and it wasn't moving. It just hit, doubled it over, and stayed doubled over.
Wow.
A 27-pound flathead, brother, like a 50-pound blue. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, he was coming in, and I'm like, okay, I've got a decent fish, but he's not really fighting me too hard until he got up close enough that I looked down the water. My headlamp hit that water. He didn't like that light. He turned around. He pulled 30 or 40 yards of line off like it was nothing and come back in and tried to go under the dock and everything else. It was a fun fight. I wish I had it on video, but I didn't. So
they're great.
I'm very, very happy for you, but at the same time, I'm very, very upset with you.
Oh, why is that?
Upset or jealous?
You and I were supposed to get together, and we were going to go flathead hunting so we could get you a new PB, and then you went and did a.
On your own.
So.
Yeah.
Well,
you guys got to get down here to crab. So
you guys can still. Is that where you caught that on Crab Orchard?
That was where I caught that. Was out there at Crab Orchard. And about 2 or 3 days before I caught that one, there was a guy caught and kept a 33-pound flathead from pretty much the same area. He was fishing in the daytime. He was walking the docks crappie fishing and hooked that thing on 8-pound test mono with a crappie jig.
Girlfriend of Piranha.
Girlfriend of Piranha. Nice.
Piranha scare me.
Piranhas, yeah.
What about David?
David, you should have sent us a picture of that, man.
Yeah.
So Aiden caught a tagged blue cat this weekend. Absolutely, man. You can still send that one in. If you got a picture, send it to me. I'll get that up next week.
Absolutely. That's a great deal.
Yeah, he was actually asking earlier in chat how fishing was on the Ohio this weekend for everybody. And that was good for us, but I take it was pretty decent from him from that and the other comments he's made.
It's the Ohio.
Yeah.
JG Hill, we don't have a screenshot of Creole and his friends fish from Tuesday night. I have to go back and find that one, I guess.
We'll blame that on Creole.
Yeah, I go by what sits in my inbox. If it don't make it in my inbox, if I have time to go try to hunt some down, I will. But there's no guarantees on that one. So if you email it to me, email it to me, it does get on the bragging board. So
if I'm not mistaken, Creole caught a really nice flathead the other day too.
mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it weighed, but it was.
If I remember correctly, he didn't have a scale. He was only calling it like 40 or something like that. But
if you did Creole and I missed it, I apologize, and I'll get it up next week. So,
well, we don't. It doesn't have to have the weight.
Yep, I got it there. It didn't.
Or the scale.
Now I missed that one, brother. I'm sorry.
But if it does, that's just that much better.
Creole, you got to accept his apology, but really it was, mail going from the way that far south in Louisiana up to Illinois. It's snail mail anymore, man. It takes a while to get there.
Creole sent it DHL.
I don't know. I'm thinking Josh's flathead, DHL. Maybe you didn't want them on the same.
No, I did not that at all. I'd fill that bragging board with flatheads, and I almost didn't put mine on there. Danny Stone was the one that convinced me to put mine on there. So,
well, thank you, Danny, because I'm glad everybody got to see it. If you hadn't seen it, because it was a great fish, and I knew about it right away. I was still up there.
I was shaking when I messaged Lyle the other night. I'm like, I just got a new PB flat.
I was sitting here. I was awake watching reruns of Hunter. But that's what it is. It was a great fish.
Yeah, Creole, I got that one. I'll get it up there on next week's board. So, and David, send me that, email me that other one, and I'll get it up there too for next week. So,
and anybody else that has anything that's in the current last 2 weeks?
Yep,
is that correct?
You pull up the overlay for that.
There you go.
So every Monday we show the photos submitted to the bragging board email address. When you submit those, please include your name, your YouTube channel if you have one. If you don't have one, you don't have to. We're not worried about that. The date you caught the fish, the species and weight of the fish, any information, any interesting information you want to provide is also appreciated. Send your photos to pics@theweekendangler.com. And we ask that you do that for fish caught within the past 14 days. So
that's right. Welcome.
Try to keep them current and let people see this. This way we're seeing what's being caught right now. And
it's across the United States.
It's worldwide. If you catch something in Antarctica, we want to see.
And where was it that guy's from a while ago? Argentina.
Yeah.
Let's see some pictures. Send them to Josh. He's gonna show a red tail. You watch it.
Oh man.
I hope so. We would love to see some pictures from Argentina. Send them up. Let's get them posted.
Yep, absolutely.
That'd be amazing.
Me and Pablo's gonna have to talk. He started sending pictures of red tail.
Maybe he can hook us up. Great show tonight, Dee. We cannot thank you
raiding Pablo's house.
That's right. We cannot thank you enough for coming on here and telling us about the ladies tournament. We want to wish you all the success this weekend that you can possibly have with that, and looking forward to this one and to see what happens for next year.
Sounds good.
That's right, Chad. You got it.
Don't forget what this day was all about.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Memorial Day is not about barbecues or hanging out on the water or any of that. It's about the people that no longer get the chance to have those barbecues or to hang out on the water. It's the people who gave their lives for our country.
That's right. That's exactly right. So we want to thank everybody for it. And don't forget, if you are current, military, or a veteran, go to the Catfish Weekly Facebook public page and sign up for the 2 reels that we have to give away. We're going to give them away the last Monday night of this month. And Richard Ward with Mad Catters Catfishing, thank you so much for this. This is about the 3rd year, I believe, that Richard has donated something for this. We usually do it on our trip to Mendota. I didn't make the Mendota trip this year, but there's pictures of the reels on there that we're going to give away in a post. Just put your name, your last rank, or your current rank, and what branch of the military you're in the post below, and you will be entered, and we will do that online, live, the last Monday night of this month. So we can't thank you guys enough for everything that our military personnel do. This is just one small way of giving back, and thank Richard for doing this every year. And I'm looking forward to that show. It'll be a lot of fun. And again, Dee, thank you so much, and good luck this weekend with all your stuff. You guys have anything to close out with?
I think we got it. Looking forward to being Joey this weekend. So
America.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Night, everybody. Thanks
hey,
for
y'all.
watching.
Have a great week.
Thanks for watching Catfish Weekly, and remember, Mark comes on with the catfish and crappie